Hi everyone, it's 8 p.m. now, so we are going to start our Toastmasters meeting. First of all, I know all of you are excited for the meeting today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Leonard, and I'm your SAA/Zoom master for this evening. Before I start, I would like to state what are the house rules for the meeting. Firstly, stay muted at all times unless it's your turn to speak or you are being asked to speak. Secondly, if possible, kindly turn on your webcam. We want to see your pretty or handsome face, and turning on the webcam can help you experience the Toastmaster meeting better to the fullest. And thirdly, for everyone here, please prepare a glass of water. We will have a fantastic toast ceremony later. And fourthly, please rename your Zoom in the following format: your role / your name. And fifth, please don't record or screen capture. As you may be aware, our fantastic Hasnu has recorded this meeting. And lastly, everyone is welcome to be an active and supportive speaker today, as well as listener. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the meeting. I would like to pass the control to the Toastmaster to Suwan, our president, for his opening address.
Thank you, Renard, for that housekeeping rules and kick off our meeting. Hi, hello, how are you doing? I believe we have quite a number of guests this evening. If you are new to our club, welcome. If you're new to Toastmasters, big welcome. And thank you for spending your precious Thursday evening with us. And I hope this evening will be a thrilling experience for you. And as Leonard has introduced, my name is Suwan. I'm the current president for the club. Thank you. And to all the guests, Mikasa as Sukasa, which means my house is your house. Please make yourself home. And for you that new to Toastmasters, our mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And our internal visions in Elite Toastmaster Club is to continue to build articulate and vibrant leaders. And meeting number 162 with the theme freedom. What does freedom mean to you? What does freedom mean to you? When I asked our VPE Ming Yan, what is freedom mean to you? He answered, financial freedom. Okay, good. I believe at this time where most of us are locked up in our house, freedom means a lot more, right? And for me, freedom means appreciation. And I just stumbled across this sentence in one of the social media posts, and I would like to read for you regarding to our team this evening. If you have food in your fridge, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and a place to sleep, you are richer than 75% of the world. If you have money in your bank, in your wallet, and some spare change, you are among 8% of the world's wealthy. If you have never experienced the danger of battle, the agony of imprisonment and torture, or the horrible pangs of starvation, you are luckier than 500 million people alive and suffering. If you can read this message, you are more fortunate than 3 billion people in the world who cannot read at all. So what does freedom means to you? Or maybe I call up some of our members. Give me some of one sentence or two sentence answer. What does freedom means to you? Let's start off with, Ming Yan, you answer that, financial freedom. How about Yi Yi? What does freedom means to you?
Freedom means to me to be with people that I love, like right now. Back to you, Suwan.
Thank you. Beautiful. And Kim Leong, what does freedom means to you?
Freedom means that I have the ability to do the things that I want.
Okay. How about Leonard? What does freedom means to you?
For me, freedom means I'm able to move around without restriction.
Without movement restrictions. Okay. Good, good. And I have few number of guests tonight that I would like to call you to just introduce yourself and perhaps your name, where you're from, and how did you come across our club? And we have a group of guests tonight from KPMG Toastmaster Club, led by Grace Law. Are you here, Grace? Would you mind to
Hi.
Hi. Would you mind to introduce your team to the rest of us?
I think our club president is here also. Shamini, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Not sure. I'm using phone, so I
sorry,
will
yeah.
not
Can
be
you hear?
able to see so much.
Yeah,
Shamini, are you
Shamini.
here?
Yes, I am. Yes, Grace, I
Okay.
am.
Our club president is Shamini. I will let Shamini introduce our team. But my name is Grace. I'm the FAA for this term in our club.
Great, thanks, Grace. So Grace is
Hi.
one of our pioneer members, and thanks to her, so she's the one who pretty much linked us to today's meeting. So thank you for having us, and once again, thanks to Grace for linking us up again. So with me today, we have John from KPMG as well. John is the VPE, and we also have Jessica. Jessica is the VPPR. She's also here. And I believe, for now, I think that's, there are a couple of people who should be joining, but perhaps work calls, so they might be joining a little bit later, but that's all we have for now. Thank you, Suwan.
Thank you, Shamini. Thank you, Grace, for spending your evening here tonight with us. And I hope you'll get something from this meeting. And we have few non-Toastmaster guests, but I believe we have, do we have the other Toastmaster guest tonight? It's okay. So we have Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Matthew. Yeah.
Welcome, Matthew.
Can you
And
hear me? Sorry,
yes.
because my connection actually is not very stable.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think there's some delay. Let me reconnect again.
Sure, no worry. Thank you for joining us. And we have Yonghan.
Hi.
Hi, Yonghan.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
Yonghan. I'm from Philcore. It's a GE company. I'm a field engineer, and I'm excited to be here first day as a guest.
Thank you and welcome. And the next guest we have Chia Yong Lian.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
All. So I'm Chayong, or you can call me CY. So I'm a recent graduate from Utah, and now I'm currently working at Cognizant. And yeah, that's pretty much about me.
Welcome, CY. And we have Damien.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Damien. I'm from the UK. I've been in Kuala Lumpur for 3 years. Before that, I was living in Dubai for 4 years. So being international and being an expat, it's quite exciting to connect with people from different places and having different perspectives. I work in international education in a leadership capacity, and I'm here to improve my vocabulary, my articulation, my thoughts, and to really engage with people on an intellectual level.
Welcome, Damien. And do we have a few more guests? I think that's the guest that we have for right now. Is Komala here? No. Is Morgan here? Yvonne? And Mariam is not here. All right. With that, that's all the guests, and welcome again to our club. And I would like to pass the stage to one of our new members, and she's very energetic and bubbling, and she will give a toast for us today. So over to you, ASEAN.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me start this session with a famous quote from Mahatma Gandhi, which is related to our meeting theme today. His quote, "Freedom is not worth of having it if there is no freedom to make mistake." What do you understand from this quote? Does this quote means that we are free to make mistake without thinking on the implication of our mistakes to the people around us just for the sake of achieving the definition of our own freedom? I believe each of us have different goals or perspective about freedom. Some people, they want to free themselves from debts or liability. Some may want to free themselves from toxic relationship or unhealthy working environment. As for myself, it is very obvious. I want to free myself from public speaking and anxiety and be able to speak confidently and be able to make people understand on my speeches or presentation. Freedom doesn't come for free. It requires a lot of efforts, sacrifices, and it requires us to really work for it. So each of us need to understand that we have to work hard to achieve our own freedom. Have you noticed of the child, the freedom in a child? They play, they run, they fall, and sometimes they are getting hurt. As an adult, we always stop ourselves to make mistakes because we are too careful. For children, the words of making mistakes never exist in their mind. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, if you are in the progress of achieving your own freedom, my advice, never give up. Allow yourself to make mistakes along the way. With that, I would like to invite everyone to make a toast to start off the meeting.
Cheers.
Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, ASEAN, for that wonderful toast. Indeed, freedom to make mistake, right? And tonight is my honors, is my privilege to introduce one of our, I would say, very authentic, very genuine, very caring members. He will be the host, he will be the MC, he will be the Toastmasters of the evening that will bring everyone through this journey of freedom. Hand over to you, Justin, our Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Mr. President Suwon. Thank you so much. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster members and guests. Today, I will be your Toastmaster of evening, as known as the MC for the meeting. So let me introduce myself. My name is Justin, and my role for tonight is to coordinate and conduct the meeting, introduce the speaker and the role player, and to make sure you guys enjoy the meeting. And let me ask you a question. Why do we join Toastmaster? What do we want to learn from Toastmaster? if I ask myself, the first time when I attended Toastmaster, I wanted to learn how to speak. And I'm sure most of the guests here, they want to learn to be a great speaker, to be a great leader, to be a great listener. So that's why, let me tell you a story about Toastmaster. Toastmaster was formed by Mr. Rapley C. Smedley. So Mr. Smedley saw there's a need for a man in the community to learn how to speak, conduct meeting, plans program, and work on the community. He wants to help them. So that's why he hosts his first meeting in YMCA building on the October 22nd, 1924. It's been almost 100 years, almost. And we can see more and more people are coming to Toastmaster to improve and learn and to be a great leader. And we can see tonight, we have a lot of guests from different clubs, and we have guests from Dubai, and we have many guests in Malaysia joining our meeting. And I would like to wish you guys welcome to Elite Toastmaster meeting number 162. Even with the pandemic, we cannot have a physical meeting. We cannot have a face-to-face meeting, but we have the freedom to host a virtual meeting to learn and to meet up. Kudos to everybody to join our meeting today. Bravo, bravo. Okay, so I have more times. Okay, let me explain how our meeting works. Our meeting split into three parts. The first part is the table topic, is the impromptu speaking, an impromptu speech. Number 2 is the prepared speech, and number 3, after we done our speech, we have the evaluation. So let me break down in details. In the table topic master will provide a last minute or table topic to the volunteers. So I highly recommend all the guests and those members who did not have a role for tonight to volunteer themselves for the table topic. I can guarantee you it's not just help you to improve your speech or communication. It also help you to feel relaxed, to feel more engaged in the meeting. It can be very fun, trust me. And the prepared speech, the club member, when we enroll the Toastmaster, we are given the pathway project. So each member, they're assigned with the assignment speech, and they have to prepare the project, prepare the speech. Every members take about 1 month to 2 months, prepare their speech. They do a lot of research and put a lot of effort, and they can deliver a very great speech. And I can tell you, in Elite Toastmaster, we have to book at least 3 months for our speaking slot. Imagine that the speaking slot is a very hot seat. When it comes to the last part of the meeting, it comes the evaluation. So in the evaluation, there are a few officers will help me, the grammarian, the R counter, the timer, the GE. They will observe the meeting, they'll listen. The grammarian will listen all your grammatical error, and they'll give a feedback at the end of the meeting. The R counter also will here to help. The timer is to make sure the meeting will be on time, and the general evaluator will evaluate the overall of the meeting. So let me introduce all the officer and the role players. So this grammarian, she is a distinguished Toastmaster, and she have a many years of experience in Toastmaster in Australia. She was the president of the Skyline Speaker, the president of the Advanced CBD, and many more. And I would like to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Diane to explain your role as a grammarian to the audience. Over to you, Diane.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, for that lovely introduction. As the grammarian for tonight, my role is to listen out to the word of the day, which we have set. And for the benefit of the guests, it is on the bottom left of our agenda. And tonight's word of the day is thrilling, a lovely word. And the meaning is to cause excitement and pleasure. An example of a sentence which you could use it in, it was a thrilling adventure to search for an escape out of the dungeon for the game on gather. So this is just an example of the sentence. So if everyone could please just unmute yourself, and on the count of 3, please say the word of the day, thrilling. So please unmute yourselves.
Thrilling.
Okay,
Thrilling.
fantastic. Thank you. Please do use it when you speak, even when you're writing in Zoom. I'll probably be watching your chats. So if you could, please apply the word of the day. And at the end of the meeting, I will provide a report on what I have noticed throughout the meeting. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Diane. So the next officer, I would like to call out that she is one thing about her when I did some research on her LinkedIn. She is very passionate about harnessing the science of human behavior, and she wants to enable the team to unlock the full potential. And this person will be the R counter for tonight. And it is Toastmaster Rachel Ling. Toastmaster Rachel, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. So I will be your R counter for today. And as an R counter, I will be listening very carefully to for use of vocal pauses and clutch words such as you know. And throughout this thrilling meeting, I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I. This is known as a double clutch. I will keep track of everyone and report at the end of the meeting on who best controlled their use of filler words. All the best, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rachel. And the next person I would like to call, she's the Rolex, and she's the timer for tonight. And that would be Toastmaster Juliana. Over to you, Toastmaster Juliana. Juliana, you're muted.
Here we go. Sorry, can you hear me now? Great. As your timer, I will be timing all the table topics, speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. And I will also alert every speaker of the time they have left using green, yellow, and red cards, which denotes the specific times remaining. For example, if the assignment speeches are between 5 to 7 minutes in length, at 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. It's technically a yellow traffic light, which will be this. And then subsequently at 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow traffic. And then at 7 minutes, I will raise the red traffic light. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Over back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Juliana. And the last role player that I would like to introduce for tonight is the general evaluator. She can play Chinese instrument Ding Jing very well. I would like to invite Toastmaster Ashley over to explain her role, general evaluator. Over to you, Ashley.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster TME Justin. So my role as a GE, I will be leading a team of our evaluators who will be evaluating the speech of the prepared speech speakers. And on top of that, I myself will be evaluate the speakers who are not being evaluated of the night, and together I will be evaluating the overall meeting itself. Yeah, with that, I'll pass back the floor to TME Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashley. So without further ado, I would like to pass my control to the table topic master. He is the grand mentor, distinguished Toastmaster, and one of the elite founder for the Elite Club founder. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Chen Chun to start up our table topic master, table topic session. Over to you, Chen Chun.
Thank you, Justin. Yes, indeed, table topics, the most exciting, and whenever you hear my name, you are guaranteed for a thrilling, tantalizing, and terrifying table topics session. Because as always, I always give a lot of interesting topics for today. And we're gonna do like a rapid fire 1 minute table topic speaker each. Okay, let me just quickly explain the why we do table topics. I think it's very important for us to carry ourselves well in front of people that we meet, right? So whenever we are being thrown a question, whether we know or we don't know the answer, we also need to compose ourselves, think in a way, think in a structure, and deliver our message. And that is why in Toastmasters, we use this session to train people to think on their feet. So today's topic is going to be a 1-minute topic so that we can cover the guest and the member as well. So here's the rules. So 1 minute, 40 minutes, 40 seconds, not 40 minutes, 40 seconds, we will have the green light. 50 seconds, we'll have the amber light. And 1 minute, you have the red light. And then you can have another 10 seconds to wrap up your speech. And for you to volunteer yourself, very easy. Don't unmute yourself. Just use the text box, put in your name, and I will pick. It will not be by sequence because I know you have the usual people who always volunteer. So I want to make sure that everyone has an equal chance. So I may pick a guest, a member, a guest, and a member. Okay? And today is on the line of, what was the theme again? Freedom, yes. Now, freedom to me is also the ability to let go of things that we are so used to. So the theme of this table topic is going to be, what was life like before ... And I'll give you that, all right? So let's start with the first volunteer. If anybody wants to volunteer, just put your name on the chat and I will just pick your name and you can unmute yourself and I can give you that topic. All right, let's start. Any brave soul? It's going to be rapid fire, 1 minute. Okay, let's Ashu start the ball rolling and the rest you can just put in. Okay, so even for the guests, just volunteer. It's okay. There's no right or wrong. We just want to have fun. Okay, let's start with Ashu. Ashu, you go first. Okay. Now, I'm not going to give you the freedom of choosing the topic, so I will choose the topic for you. I will take away your freedom. So your topic is going to be 1 minute. What was life like without Spotify? What was life like without Spotify? Ashu, 1 minute.
That was a very, very difficult time, to be honest. Before Spotify, I remember the time I had to download those unknown websites, go to those unknown websites and keep looking for my favorite music and then download the songs and then play them whenever I'm, when I want them. But even before that, just before that, we used to use CDs or cassettes or whatnot. So very difficult, and it was not just inconvenient, but also not just inconvenient, but also at the same time very, very time consuming and expensive. So I think we have a lot better experience once we have Spotify. We can listen to our favorite music, and at the same time we can spend less. But there is another problem with Spotify. You spend a lot of time just on music, and you don't have time to spend time with your family or something else. So yeah, there are pros and cons.
Okay. Yes, you can pick up the phone right now. Okay, so next we have Grace. I think, Grace, I have a very good topic for you. I think this is most appropriate for you. I think you can share with us a lot of interesting things. So Grace,
Ready?
are you ready?
Okay.
No worries. Okay, so your topic. What was life like without the internet? What was life like without the internet? Grace, over to you, 1 minute.
To me, everything have pros and cons. Even freedom, even internet. I am very thankful to have internet, especially I need the fast speed internet for my work and for my Toastmaster meeting. But again, I remind myself all the time, everything got plus and minus, everything got pros and cons. Just like Matthew spoke about Spotify just now. Yes, it's good to have it. It's good to enjoy it. But on the other hand, we lose out the freedom to spend, to have, because every one of us have only 24 hours. So if you spend so much time on internet, on Spotify, on all these gadgets and the new things of this world, of the generation now, we feel that we are losing out the basic thing that we used to enjoy. But for me, life without internet, I feel that those days were more simpler. It was less stress. It was slower pace. Yeah, so much time to just sit down, read newspaper, chit chat with the family over a meal. And nowadays, everything is just fast paced, fast paced, fast paced. I can't. Oh, yeah. So without internet, probably we are more human.
Wow, that final punchline was a nail on the chest. Without internet, we are more human. Thanks for sharing that perspective. Next, I would like to invite the next speaker, Vanessa. You are next. Vanessa, are you there?
Hi, yes.
Okay, this is going to be a very... All right. Okay, so no echo already, right? Okay, so your topic is going to be very interesting. I'm also very interested to know about this. What was life like without Lazada or Shopee? What was life like without Lazada or Shopee?
Thank you, Table Topic Master Chen Jun, for such an interesting questions. I always feel very thrilling when I'm here. Oh, what was life like before Lazada and Shopee? For me, I'm not a person who always do online shopping, but ever since pandemic hits and total lockdowns, I finally stepped into the world of online shopping, and safely to say that I could never come back again. Shopee and Lazada is so much convenience than doing physical shoppings. So I would describe my life before Lazada and Shopee as fun and thrilling, because I get to actually go outside and choose the items that I would love to get, or actually meet people in the shopping center. So there are more experiences and more people that I would get to meet instead of purchasing items online. And I would also describe my life before Lazada and Shopee as because I didn't spend too much time online. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Vanessa. It seems like no difference. It seems like you will prefer shopping physically. Okay, different perspective and wonderful work on the bell. I love that. Next time, Juliana should be the timer. Okay, next on my list, I'd like to invite Shamini. Hello, Shamini. All good? I give you an interesting one. All right. What was life like without Facebook? What was life like without Facebook?
Thank you for the topic. Flash forward, I would say flashback, sorry. It flashback 15 years ago when Facebook was first introduced. I was one of the pioneers who joined Facebook because it was only open to the US community, and I was studying back then. And I still remember very vividly when Facebook was opened for the general public. I remember seeing a group of students holding play cards insisting that Facebook is kept only for the community of the students, simply because they didn't want parents spying on them. Flash forward again, 10 years down the road. Today, I have no social media at all. So I'm probably the best person to tell you how life has been with Facebook and without Facebook. For me, without Facebook, it has actually helped a lot. Simply because, number one, I'm no longer addicted to online games. Gone were the days that I used to sit and set timer so that I can wake up and harvest my farms on Farm Fresh and so forth. But today, the first thing I do when I wake up is actually check on the star, which helps me to know what is the general news. Secondly, check on my WhatsApp, the only social media that I have that allows me to keep connected. And thirdly, to actually be able to put down my phone and have a meaningful conversation and pick up the phone if I want to make a communication, as opposed to just checking out, remembering birthdays physically and not just looking at the phone or Facebook. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that. Definitely very interesting perspective, coming from somebody who's actually at the transition when Facebook just came in. So thanks for sharing, Sabini. And next, I'd like to invite Matthew. Matthew, all good?
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Matthew. Okay, so I give you a
Easy
simple
one,
one.
please.
Okay, what was life like for you? Easier, right? Okay. What was life like for you without COVID-19? What was life like for you without COVID-19? Matthew, you have 1 minute. Over to you.
Well, before the COVID-19, I think one of the things that I lack of was the health conscious, because you will never imagine that because I'm a gym lover. So I often go to the gym every 2 or 3 times per week. So because of the pandemic, COVID-19 appears, so it's starting to trigger me that the importance of the personal hygiene, because in the gyms we share the equipment, right? So and you're knowing that actually gym is one of the most easier to have, can let the virus to be spread. And then apart from that, I think I also stopping a lot of the coffee hopping, whereas now I starting to invest into a coffee machine, and actually this helped me to save a lot of the money. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all from me.
Chen Jun, you're muted.
You're muted. Okay, thanks. Sorry. Yeah, so we have 2 more speakers. Maybe you can push a little bit to invite, since the guest has introduced that he wants to do it. Okay, so let's start with Juliana. Juliana, you have the freedom right now not to time yourself, but try to speak within the 1 minute. Maybe somebody can give an indicator to give her. I think she wants to volunteer, so I will give her one. All right, Juliana, you there? All good? Okay, 1 minute, yeah?
All good. Yep.
Okay, your topic. What was life like without WhatsApp? What was life like without WhatsApp, if you can remember? Over to you, Juliana, 1 minute.
Okay, life without WhatsApp was amazing. I had so much freedom. It was so thrilling to be able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I didn't have someone checking on me every other time. I didn't have anyone actually checking on anything at all. I was actually from a generation without the WhatsApp. I used to carry huge phones as well. It shows my age, but I got the other freedom I gained without having WhatsApp was that I had the freedom to choose who I wanted to call, who I wanted to meet up with, etc., etc. So there was no harassment. There was just no one texting me, asking me, hey, what you doing, what's not. I instead had the upper hand to do it. So this was life before WhatsApp for me. It was amazing, lots of freedom. I go wherever I want. I pick friends that I want to meet up with, etc. And it was just the best experience. Now these days, I just have the message pinging, WhatsApp message coming in every other time. So it's just not fun. So that was what life without WhatsApp for me.
Thanks, Juliana. Live without WhatsApp. I can't even recall. Okay, next we have a guest, Damien, the traveler. Okay, so your topic is gonna be, let's pick one for you. Okay, what was life like without the smartphone? What was life like without the smartphone? 1 minute, over to you.
I guess to first address this question, we would need to understand what we mean by life. So first of all, I can only give a subjective viewpoint on it based on my own experience and what I understand reality to be. My contextual experience has been that life without, did you say social media? Did you say it? Just to repeat, sorry.
Smartphone.
So life before smartphones, well, communication happened before smartphones and had continued with smartphones. I would say that my communication was less expedient. It had meant that I had to arrange beforehand, so I had to be very organized with my time and my scheduling. However, the ability to connect and communicate and to bond and relate to people had been more challenging because there were costs incurred without the use of technology. So I think that I've been able to enhance my ability with mobile technology. I would also say that the dangers with smartphones has been that, I can continue. The challenge has been that since having smartphones, there is a need to, the fear of missing out, and therefore we less connect with people in a meaningful way or purposeful way. And therefore, maybe communication has been hindered.
Sorry for the disruption. We are giving within the time, but anyway, thanks for sharing. Very interesting sharing. I like that. And now we move on to the final speaker, John. Since you last minute volunteer yourself, I'm going to pick you, and your topic is going to be, what was life like without photo taking app like Instagram? Right? What was life like without the photo taking app like Instagram? 1 minute, over to you, John.
You're muted.
Yeah, thank you. For my personal point of view, the life without photo capturing app, it will be bored and dying. This is because I do believe everyone have a limited memory. We can't remember everything happened in our life, even though the event happened was significant and impactful to us. After a while, we tend to forget. So taking of with a photo app, we are able to capture the moment and we can always recall it back the memory when looking back to the picture. Without this app, we couldn't do much as with the time go pass by. And I do believe people will then to like take the photo and print out the photo. I think the photo when you put in a room, it tend to turn to yellow or black when you touch with the water. So it can't sustain long. To me, I think the apps is the better way for us to keep memory. Because the life without the app, more of our memory were gone, and we can't cheering back the memory when we wanted to when we are in the downtime.
Thank you for sharing your perspective. I guess we have a lot of speakers today, so thank you very much for all the volunteers. I hope you guys have fun as always. But I think the key message of this particular exercise is, freedom is a choice, right? Freedom doesn't belong to your phone or to WhatsApp, to Facebook. It's really how you make the best out of what is available to you. So from all the perspective, we all know that we can survive without WhatsApp, we can survive without smartphone, we can survive with the internet. It's about all the perspective in life. So hope that would give you a heightened awareness of what freedom is. With that, thank you very much, everyone. And now I hand back the control to the Toastmasters of the evening. Please join me to welcome Justin.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Chen Chun. That was a really thrilling table topic session. So without further ado, I'll pass my control to Jingman, Toastmaster Jingman, to give a table topic.
Don't forget the voting.
I think
I forgot the voting.
first.
Yes, the polling. Hi, Lynette. Can you bring up the polling, please? I forgot.
I will launch the polling now. There are a total 8 speakers. Okay, I've launched it.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you, Toastmaster Lynette, for putting up the polling. And I would like to invite Toastmaster Jingman to give her table topic evaluation for all the speakers out there. Over to you, Toastmaster Jingman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. What was life like without Spotify? Asus, I like how you start your speech. Let's recall the old time we searched the music from the unknown source. And I like your vocal variety because you maintain the high speech. It shows you really want to go back to those old times, but you can't. One point of improvement, I think you can add one call to action because you have mentioned we enjoy the Spotify and we have less time to share with our family members. So probably you can ask the member can join the Spotify member package. So we all can have a family time with member. Thank you, Asus, for the wonderful speech. And second, what was life like without the internet? Grace, I like how you start your speech with pros and cons. And I like the structure of your speech. Your opening and you share all the things with the cause and effect. And I especially like your final punchline. And one of the points in improvement for you, I think hopefully is the you slightly shake your body while you're giving speech. So it will show you a bit nervous. So next time maybe you can fun a bit. Then we can feel you comfortable. Yeah. And next, what was like without Lazada and Shopee? Vanessa, I like how you start your speech with a lower tone. Yeah, I like your vocal variety because you feel sorry to yourself on falling to Lazada apps. So the whole speech, you keep the lower tone. So it will let the audience like me will feel, yeah, I'm also the one. And probably the point of improvement, you can also add the call to action. Maybe can uninstall a while during the special event like 88, 99, 12, 12. Yeah, if you want to avoid this sad feeling. Next, what was like without Facebook? Shamini, I like how you start your speech with the old memory, and because all of us now, all of us in this room, probably from that era. Yeah, we play the Pokemon card, and we has experienced those good times. So you starting this speech will probably catch our attention to continue listen to you. I like your confidence. You very calm, and I can feel your confidence even during our chair meeting. So one of the point improvement so far I haven't find out. It's okay. I get back to you later. And next one, what was like without COVID-19? Matthew, I like how you start your speech with the like a new reporter. Yeah, you tell us the gym room is a place very dangerous. So you warnings us, and also let us know we can do many things in our house. And one of the points improvement for you probably is the eye contact, because I think maybe you feel nervous, so you less of the eye contact with the audience. Okay. And what was like without WhatsApp? Juliana, I like how you start your speech, and you have many hand gesture, and you also bring in your prop like handphone. Yeah, when you say WhatsApp, so I think you are well use of the prop around you. This is what Toastmaster Chen Chen always tell us. You can prepare something around you, then you can use it. One of the points of improvement, I think, probably is maybe you can speak lower a bit. Yeah, even we have 1 minute, but you can slower a bit. Okay. And next, what was like without smartphone? Damon, I like your confidence, and I also like your slang. Yeah, it's very very comfortable for us to listening, and one of the point improvement, I think maybe you can make sure the topic at the beginning, then you will not waste some time to talk about other topic, then only back to the topic. Yeah. The last one is John. What was like without the photo taking apps? And I also like your opening. Capture the moment, the meaning to us. And I like your sincerity, because all of us maybe have scored by our friend use too many Instagram, but you let us know it's okay, because Instagram is keep our memory. So I like your sincerity, and also thank you. I find a reason, then I can tell my friend I am doing a right thing. Yeah. So all in all, thank you for all the speaker for volunteer joining this time machine, I will call. Yeah, and thank you Toastmaster Chen Chun for the meaningful topic. back to you, Toastmaster Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jingman. And I know it's not very easy to evaluate. I think that was like 7 or 8 table topic speaker, and you have to sit down and listen and to give back your feedback, and so they can improve for their next table topic. Thank you so much. So this is our table topic, and unfortunately it's end here, and we wish to try out the table topic. Please come and join our next meeting. And our next session will be, oh yeah, group photo. Okay, I forgot about the group photo. So everybody, can you please turn on your camera? Everybody turn on your camera. Okay, let me double check. Hi, Yonghan, can you please turn on your camera? We are taking picture. Yonghan, Jingwen, and okay, yes, I think everybody's almost on. So I have to take 2 times because there's too many people in the chat in the Zoom.
Justin,
So,
do you want me to take instead? My screen can actually fit everyone here.
Oh, okay, that would be great. Thanks, Yi.
Okay.
Okay, over to you.
All right, everyone, just put on your brightest smile. Gonna do it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, great. Let me check on the photo. Okay, all great. Pass that control to you, Justin.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Yi, for your help and everything. So our next session will be the intermission, and actually we're behind the schedule already. So Toastmaster Juliana, so how long is our intermission? 1-2 minutes? You're muted. You're still muted. Okay.
2 minutes.
All right.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So we'll be back by 8:53. 8:53 will start the second part of the meeting. So you guys can, you know your ways to the toilet, can do wee and grab some water if you're thirsty. All right. See you guys in the second part. See you. Diana. Hi guys.
Just now I remember after I totally different.
All right. Hi guys. Welcome back to the second part of the meeting. Okay. Okay. Maybe Leonard.
Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of the meeting. I will pass the floor to the TME of the evening, Justin, to introduce the speakers for tonight.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lynette, for calling the second part of the meeting, and welcome back to the Prepare Speech session. So in this session, the Prepare speaker will deliver their pathway project, and they prepare. I think they spend about 1 month, 2 months to craft their speech, and they're going to deliver it tonight. So our first speaker is Toastmaster Ashu. He is going to deliver his pathway project number 2, level 1 from the dynamic leadership, pathway evaluation and feedback, speech title, managing difficult conversation. Before I call Toastmaster Ashu, can I invite Toastmaster Vanessa Yap to read his purpose speech? Over to you, Toastmaster Vanessa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. Ashu, the purpose of this project is for the member. Sorry. Ashu, the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he has applied the feedback received from his first speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vanessa. Toastmaster Ashu, managing difficult situation. Managing difficult situation. Toastmaster Ashu, over to you.
Thank you, Justin. Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, dear Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guests. So I would like to start with a question. Have you been in a situation where, while speaking with your boss, when she was not happy with your performance, despite you gave your best, and she did not have our complete support, and you were having limited resources. Have you been in a situation where you were talking to your colleague, one of your employees, and he did not complete a task that was extremely critical for you, and he didn't even feel guilty about it? Have you been in a situation where you were talking to a coworker who was having a totally conflicting view on a particular point? Or a time when your father was looking at your report card of your high school and your grades were extremely lower than his expectations. So how did the conversation go? I'm not sure about you, but I have been in these situations, some of these situations, quite a few times. One of the instances is when I faced a difficult conversation with a notorious politician 3 years back when I was working in Mumbai, India. I was the head of a business that had more than 500 employees, and this politician started disturbing my business just to gain some political attention, some media attention and publicity. Without any valid reasons, he started interfering with my employees, taking law and order in his hands, and creating nuisance with the help of his party supporters. Due to his consistent interruptions, I thought I should speak with this guy and sort out everything in a meeting. This was a big mistake that I made. An even bigger mistake was that I decided to visit his office to sort out these things. Before going to his office, I was very confident that I will sort out everything very easily. But this guy turned out to be a real crook. When I visited his office with my lawyer, I lost my confidence when I saw this guy waiting for me along with 30 of his party men. And they were just like ready to interrogate me. Anyways, I tried to regain my confidence. And I thought, since I have done nothing wrong, why should I be worried about? So we started our conversation on a friendly note. But when he realized that everything on my side was in order, he started getting agitated, and he started raising his voice. He started shouting at me. He started dominating the conversation, tried to prove me wrong. So yeah, at that point, I started getting nervous, and I tried to control my emotions, but still I lost some of my confidence. So thankfully, I had learned some techniques that I used to control my emotions. And these techniques that I will share with you, it will be really helpful for you if you are going to use in the difficult conversation in your life. So first one was, I started focusing on my breathing. So breathing is really the simplest and the most effective mindfulness technique in tense situations. I started focusing on my breathing. I could feel the air, the sensation of air pass through my nose, through my throat, and down to my lungs. This took my attention off the physical signs of panic, and I was able to maintain my cool, and I was able to maintain my focus. If you are in a similar situation, if you have some time, you can count your breath. While inhaling or exhaling, count up to 6. Trust me, really, this is very, very effective. The second tactic that I used was focusing on my body. So instead of staying still, I crossed my fingers and I placed my feet firmly on the ground, noticing how the floor feels like at the bottom of my shoes. So this technique is called anchoring, and it is also quite effective, proven to be one of the most effective to keep your calm and taking your panic away in these kind of stressful situations. The third technique was try saying a mutually beneficial mantra. So I told him, this is something that I'm not doing for my company, it is for larger society. Okay, this is for the benefit of people. 500 people are getting employed and their families could be your voters. And the products and the customer and the services that we are providing through our companies are unique and very encouraging for the customers of Mumbai. So you should be instead supporting us rather than fighting with us. So he was kind of okay with all my arguments. But last point was also, I mean, this conversation was very, very long. So I wanted to take a small break. So I told him, since this is going quite long, I need to have a glass of water. If you are in a similar situation, and if you can, try to go for a small glass of water or coffee or walk, or if you are on a Zoom call, you can even stand up, stretch yourself. So trust me, this also maintains your temperament and you can concentrate on the conversation. So using these 4 tactics, I was able to maintain my cool. And despite him yelling on me and talking nonsense, I was able to convince him. Midway through our conversation, he started carefully listening to me. And at the end, he was completely aligned with my views. So next time, if you are in difficult conversation, try using these 4 tactics. Focus on your breathing, focus on your body, try saying a mutually beneficial mantra, and take a small break. Had I not used these 4 tactics, I would have gotten in a very difficult situation that day, maybe ending up with a fight that would have ended up in a very bad day for me. That's it. Thank you for your attention. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster Justin. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashu. After listening to your talk and I start to listen about your technique, I think I need to enroll one of your class to learn the breathing technique, the grounding technique, everything, so I can feel more calm when I'm doing my TME for the next meeting. All right, thank you, Ashu, for your wonderful speech. Okay, our next speaker, she will be doing her Pathway Project 3, Level 2 from the Presentation Mastery, Path Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring, speech title, How Mentors Can Help. Before I invite Vance Ngor up to the stage, I would like to call Toastmaster Evaluator Charlene to read out her speech objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Charlene.
Thank you very much, Justin. So when the purpose of this project is for you to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and also for you to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. So all the best to you, and back to you, Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Charlene. Okay. Toastmaster Vance Ngor. How mentors can help. How mentors can help. Toastmaster Vance Ngor, over to you.
Thank you, Justin. Today, I'm gonna talk about how mentors can help me in my life. Mentor is very, very important to me. As you can see, how many very that I just said, because before that, I don't believe mentor can help me in my life. So mentor actually helps me to develop the skill and the expertise I need to succeed. It actually also helps me to stay focused, also on track through the mentor advice, through the mentor of the experience they have been through, and also the skill development and so on.
I need to improve in order for me to reach my personal growth. Trust me, I was a person super ego and I was super naive. Even now, I still have eagerness in me, but nobody is perfect, I try to improve my bad habit. So mentors for me comes in various ways. There are 3 ways for me. The first one is my mind, which is my mindset. The second one is my health, which is my body. The third one is my soul, which is my inner child. So first, let me talk about my mindset first. So I don't have any specific mentor for my mindset, but let me share you my most favorite mindset mentor. My most favorite mindset mentor named Rob Dyer. In case you don't know who is he, you can see this in my background. He's a very handsome guy. I don't know where is he from. He don't know who are me, but I know him through the Spotify broadcast. So every time when I was driving or even when I was showering, I will listen to this Spotify broadcast. And the best thing, it is free. You guys can go to check it out. So his broadcast is specially designed for everyone like you or me, desire for motivation, for direction, and focus in life. So if you need this, please check him out. Other than that, Toastmaster, of course, is my best platform mentor for my mindset mentor too. Before I joined as a Toastmaster, I can't speak confidently like this. I was like a shy girl. I don't even dare to look at the camera, and I don't even dare to look at your face when I talk to you because I have no so much confidence. But thanks to Jingman for bringing me to the Toastmaster platform, this is the best decision that I ever made. So for me, every one of you in the Toastmaster meeting is my mentor. No matter you're a timer, my evaluator, or my grammarian, you all are my mentor. So the next one is my body, which is my health. I always desire to have a good health and have a good body shape too, because I'm currently considered underweight and I have a health problem, which is a scoliosis problem on my back. So I always have my back pain. So in health, my mentor actually is my Chinese doctor. So he was introduced by one of my friends as she also have a similar problem as me. Even he's not in this meeting and she is not a Toastmaster member, but I just want to thank her so much for introducing this Chinese mentor doctor to me, because it helped me boost a lot of confidence and hope in my health treatment process. As I was tiring searching for doctor, putting so much effort, money, and time looking for the best doctor in Kuala Lumpur, I even drive to Malacca just to see doctor. But anyway, thanks to her, it gave me a lot of confidence in my health treatment. Last is my soul, which is my inner child. If you heard of my last speech, the title is No Judgment. I came from a child abuse family and I still suffering my childhood trauma right now. And it called PTSD, post-trauma syndrome disorder. In my inner child healing process, my mentor is actually an Indian guru. I found this Indian guru in a YouTube channel. He is Sadhguru. I'm not sure whether you know who is he. This is how he looked like. It's an Indian guru. And Sadhguru actually inspired me to meditate every morning. So every morning, I will train my mind, have a grateful mindset throughout the day. Instead, I'm blaming for my past. So I will focus my mind in the moment right now. Instead, stay in the past or staying in the future. So that's a freedom for me too. So even my childhood trauma is still not totally healed yet, but I know I'm on the right path. So last, mentor comes in various ways for me. It helps you guides you along, it guides you along the way. But in the end of the day, you gonna be you. You cannot become your mentor because you and your mentor are different individuals. But you can absorb the essence from your mentor and apply it on you. And you can create your own unique essence for the future generation. So after I sharing how mentor can help me in my life, if you don't mind, please share me your most favorite mentor in your life in the meeting chat. And let me know who is your favorite mentor. Thank you. Back to you, Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vansmore. You just remind me that mentor is just not only just one person, but it's your surrounding. And seeing you from your first deliver speech, when I remember you're playing Michael Jackson song in the Zoom camera, and now you becoming a very confident speaker in front of the camera. Kudos to you, Vansmore. Congratulations. So for our third speaker, she will be doing her Pathway Effective Project 3, level 3 from the Innovative Planning Path, Inspire Your Audience. And the speech title is The Power. Before I call out this speaker, can I invite Toastmaster EJ to deliver her speech objective? Over to you, Toastmaster EJ.
Thank you, Justin. Now, Toastmaster Taylor, the purpose of this speech is for you to practice writing an inspiring speech and also to deliver to inspire the audience. All the best to you, and I hand the control back over to Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster EJ. Okay, Toastmaster Taylor Yap, the power, Toastmaster Taylor Yap, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Please thumb up if you can hear me. Okay. So thanks everyone for being here. Have you experienced this in your life? You are having a great dinner with a bunch of friends. You are having great food. It's a great ambience. And you're wanting to capture a great moment like this. And you reach into your pocket and try to get your iPhone 13 Pro Max. And then you realize that your pocket is empty. Empty not just because you do not have money, that's always I do, and because your phone is missing and you know it's iPhone 13 Pro Max. So good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. What will you do if you're in a situation like me? That you lost precious thing into you. For me, of course, iPhone 13 Pro Max, you can't get it in the market. I got mine from Tom Crook when I make a call to him directly, okay? And the nerve-wracking moment that you're trying to get it back. After a persistent trying to search for my iPhone 13, and I am dealing this roller coaster of emotion, luckily, I finally managed to find my iPhone 13 Pro Max, which I get from Tim Cook. This was a story of me losing something precious and found it back. But right now, I'm gonna share you the other lost and found story. This was a story that's much more closer to life turned oil, and it was a more heartbreaking version of lost and found story. It happened to a boy called Sharu. So as you can see here, this is a picture of Sharu. Sharu was a child living in a slum in India. So when he was 5 years old, he was wandering into an empty train somewhere in India. And he fell asleep, waiting for his brother. So when he woke up and stepped off the train, he got no idea how to get back to his brother and his home, not knowing that the train actually brought him to a place called Kolkata. That's 1,500 kilometers away from his hometown. So he is a far cry 5-year-old boy in a city called Kolkata that he never know, with no money, no family, and no idea of where he is and how to find a way home. So he went around in the street and do not know how to get back home. So after several failed attempts to return back to his family, Saro finally found himself in police station. Yes, police station. So he was later moved into a society of sponsorship and adoption, where it's kind of alternate, I would say, where they will try to help him to allocate his family. But Saro is only a 5-year-old guy, and he did not went for any school before, and have very limited knowledge about where his hometown is, and he can't even pronounce the hometown name properly. As a result, he was put for adoption and ended up with a family in Australia. So luckily, when he is a 5-year-old guy, when he get adopted, he described a map of his hometown to the Australian parents that eventually adopted him, but it doesn't bring him home like on the time. But it wasn't until 25 years later, he already a grown-up guy, and he heard about a tool that might help. Then he called this a treasure to him, which is what we're using daily, Google Map. Also realized as Google Earth, which you get to see the world when you zoom inside of Google Earth. So he started to think all this thought that what possibility that could help him to find his way home. It's hard, you know, India is big and the map is huge, but he tried to do that. He began the search for the family that he lost. By the reality, what he was trying to do, to find a family of 4 in a country that India with more than 1 billion people. He's starting with the first thing that he know. He got off a train in a city called Kolkata, and he think about how long he's been on board and work on the radius, on the search radius in the surrounding. And he did not speak Bengali, which is Bangladesh was out. As you guys know, he speak Hindi. He remember look at the star. And so it wasn't from a city, because from a city you don't get to see star. He remembered that it was warm at night, so he has also ruled out the cooler regions. From there, only option was to follow the track that still remained. But it's still a big circus that he need to control. So he spent night after night for 3 years, until one night that he come across a station symbol and a water tower and an overpass and a ring road, which is in his photogenic memory. And it was the station he fell asleep 25 years early. I can show you guys about the map. Yeah, this is the map. So from 10,000 kilometers away in Australia, he fly over to his hometown and begin to follow the path that he walked daily as a child. until he finally found what he's been looking for. It's his home. As you can see, this the adoption mother from Australia, and this his biological mother. After years of searching, Saru was finally reunited with his family in India. This was only possible because he's persistent into finding something precious, just like my iPhone 13 to him, which was lost. And this is a true story about a boy called Sharu. But also a story about the power of hope, determination, and of course here, technology. Especially in this difficult time, I believe hope will bring you get through it. Hope, remember the time you make it through. Hope filled with faith, belief, and in the impossible. Even like finding someone, your family in India without knowing the name. So last but not least, anyone in together with my Elite Toastmaster member family, I would like to warn you, please check your pocket if your iPhone 13 is still with you. Pass back the control to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Taylor Yap, for your summary of one of the documentary that I watched on YouTube, and it's very, very inspiring. And unfortunately, I do not have iPhone. Thank you for sharing. Just remind me that during our team building, we got lost in the dungeon, and so I just have to remember the ring road and the crossroad and the stars, so I can find my way out from the dungeon. All right, thank you, Toastmaster Taylor. So now for our final speaker, he will deliver a Pathway Project Level 1, Pathway Project 1, Level 5 from the Motivational Strategies, Pathway Team Building. And the speech title is Gather Experience. Before I call out the speaker, may I invite the evaluator, Toastmaster Aislone, to read out his speech objective. Over to you, Aislone.
Right, just like Justin just mentioned of the dungeon that he experienced before the team building. So this is a speech about that. So the purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to build a cohesive team and host an event. So the purpose of this second speech is for the member to share some aspect of his and her or her experience building a team and leading a team building. And back to you, Justin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aislone. Toastmaster KJ Lee, Gather Experience. Gather Experience, Toastmaster KJ Lee, over to you.
Can you smell the air that is flowing with freedom when you step out of the dungeon escape? I know Team 3 and Team 4 are able to smell that and experience, wow, this is freedom. Unfortunately for Team 1 and 2, you are still smelling the dark room where there is no smell, or there is smell of the guards. I don't know. Well, you see, in life, some people succeed, some people did not. But don't worry, we can always try again and learn from our mistake. Well, for myself, about this Elite Virtual Team Building, I smell freedom after I organized this event. Yay, it's finally over. Thank you, everyone. Now you see, in this whole Elite Virtual Team Building, I felt very happy because this is one of the easiest activity that I've organized in my whole Toastmasters journey. Why is it easy? Now, let me tell you the tips of how to make such event easily. First of all, I've been planning this event since January, beginning of this year, where I signed up. I said, okay, I want to be the organizer for our Elite Team Building. And months after months, I have been thinking of what to do. And for us to think of what to do of an event or whatever we do, always remember we need to search for the purpose. The purpose of this virtual team building is not to complete a pathway project. No, it's not. The purpose from myself, I set up, the purpose of this elite team building is fun, bonding, and learning. Notice that I put fun in front and learning at the third part is because I don't want a virtual team building to focus on learning instead of fun. Correct or not? Give me a thumb up if you agree with me. Yes. That's why I focus on fun, bonding, and learning. Once you get that straight, it's a lot easier when you know your purpose and what you want to go for, and what are the outcomes for our members. And there is different ideas where we need to keep filtering. And in the end, thanks to Chen Chun to suggest on Gather. And I found out, wow, actually this app is quite nice and it's quite happy when people can enjoy and work together. It's something fun. And the challenge, it could build a bonding. And of course, in the end, how I add in a different session, which is the sharing session for our learning. That is why this hosting this event is very easy. Now, once you get that straight, you know Gather is going on, and that is 2 months ago, July, last month. So 2 months, June, 2 months ago, June. Now, once we get that straight, and it's time to look for my committee members. Looking for committee members is not hard when it comes to Elite. It's because it's so easy to find people who want to help you in this club. That is why I noticed. I have approached 5 people to help me for this project, and my turn down rate is 0%. That shows how much we help each other in this club. So, ladies and gentlemen, one tips for you when it comes to an event or what, find your role players in Elite. They will never say no. That is side note. All right, let's get back to the message. Before the event, I have 5 different committees doing 5 different things. I only have one tedious, boring meeting to tell them what is Gather and experience. And after that, there is no more, guys, we need to gather, we need to meet up, and we need to go through this, how to run it. No more. I just meet them one by one, very efficient and very easily. Each and every one of them know what to do, and it's very straightforward. Things are simple. All right, so that is the planning part, where I have a very strong team. Next, I would like to move on to the actual day. The actual event for our members, I hope that you all enjoy the event. If you enjoy the event, please give me a reaction, a heart reaction, if you enjoy the event. Yes, thank you. Now, during the event, you're able to identify as well in our Elite family. People are willing to help you when you are lost. Your team member will not give you up when you get caught. They will never leave you behind. They will always come back and find you and bring you to the end together. We walk together, we complete together, we lose together, we get caught together. So that is the Elite spirit that I'm able to see. Really glad that team members are able to help one another. That is what I felt. It's just like in Elite Toastmasters journey. Whenever you need help, there is no one leave you behind. Wherever you need help, you are down, there is always someone to help you to bring you up, and so on. Next, we have the sharing sessions where we have 4 very special speakers to share their very touching messages. For the guests, if you want to know the special message and the quotes, they are out on Elite's Facebook page. Please go for it and have a look on how they share their experience. Lastly, after the event, I felt that I would like to motivate our members and all to go through all this event, to organize as many events as possible. Why? Is it 2 hours before the event, I actually have a chat with Diane. Diane asked me, KJ, how's the event? Do you need any help? And I said, actually I'm nervous and I worry on technical issue, but no worries, I have my backup plans. And I remember I shared this one message to Diane saying, don't worry about hiccups. I have been organizing so many events and contests in Toastmasters. Should be able to handle hiccups by now. So those are the experience that I gather, and those are the experience that I learned throughout Toastmasters journey. And the more events you do, believe me or not, whenever you do a new event, it will be easier and easier and easier. And that is how I would like to say in Elite Virtual Team Building, the Gather Town is one of the easiest events that I've done. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster KJ, for sharing your insight experience of how you organize the event and being the game master. And at the end of the day, everyone enjoy the team building and we learn a lot from there. Thank you and for sharing your speech. So for just a quick recap, right? So our team building was hosted like 2-3 weeks ago. And if you want to have to see what our reviews, just go for our Instagram and Facebook lah. Our speakers share, our attendees share their experience inside there. But unfortunately, we do not have any sneak peek because my video corrupted halfway, unfortunately. Okay, thank you, KJ, for sharing. So that is the end of the prepared speech. And is Toastmaster Leonard, is the polling is ready to cast our vote for the best speaker?
Yes, I will launch the polling now.
Okay, so members and guests, please cast your vote for the best speaker for this evening. So you have 10 seconds, 10, 20 seconds. So, okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Toastmaster Leonard. So that is the end of our prepared speech. And now we are going to the evaluation. So I'm going to pass my control to Toastmaster Ashley, and she will go through with the general evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashley.
Thank you, TNE, Justin. Well, to all my audience or attendants of our guests or our members here, right, who have actually seen Justin's deliver his speech in the past, right? And today he's stepping up as a TME. Who do you think that he improved so much and step up so much? If you think so, please unmute yourself and make some noise for him. Woo-hoo! Yay! Yes, I'm so proud of you, TME Justin. All right, okay. Now I'll compliment you later on during my evaluations, one by one to the role player. And now let's come to this sessions, which is our very important, which is the evaluation session. So for this session, it's very important because like for our prepared speech speaker, it spent maybe hours, days or weeks, or maybe months to prepare that one speech. It takes so much of effort. Of course, during this day, their big day when they delivered their speech, they wanted to know after they deliver, what is their way that can bring them to the next level. So this is what evaluation sessions is all about. And later on, I will have a group of evaluators. They will be providing very constructive feedbacks and evaluations to all our prepared speech speakers and bring them to the next level in their next delivery. And for myself, I will also evaluate each of the evaluator after their sessions. And at the end, I will also evaluate the overall meetings and also the role player. And also, earlier on, we have the introductions of our grammarian, R counter, and timer. They will also be providing their reports of this meeting. Well, without further ado, give me a thumbs up if you are ready for the evaluation sessions. Come on. All right, give me a thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, right now, let me invite our first evaluator, Toastmaster Vanessa, to evaluate Ashu's speech. Yep, over to you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Ashley, for the lovely introductions. Ashu, after you have joined the Toastmaster, you have come across as a very composed and confident speaker. And indeed, during your speech today, I feel strongly about you on that part. I feel that when you deliver your speech, your voice is very clear and you are very composed. There is no repetitive in the words that you use throughout the speech. And that's a very good thing because the audience would not get bored of your content. And then I will move on to your second strength, which is your personal story. I think it is very important to include your own personal experience in your speech so that the audience would be persuaded by the value of the stories that you're trying to bring out. And in a way, you also introduce particular aspects of your life and personalities so that it will bring a step closer to the audience right in front of you. That's very good. And secondly, I'll move on to the strength of your content. I feel that the speech that you delivered today is very relevant and very beneficial to all the audience who attended in today's meeting, because we all need to converse to people, be it at work or social events every single day. So good job on that. This is a very well thought of topics that everyone can apply in their daily life. I will also comment on the good structures of your speech. You started off your speech with with a series of questions indeed, and then you have given your own personal thoughts on those questions, and then you took us through the events that happens to you, and I realized throughout the speech you use a lot of emotive words, and that's very good because the audience can feel you, can feel the emotions that you're feeling at that point of time. So good job on that. So perhaps there are two areas that you could improve on your next speech. And the first one would be time control. So I would recommend you to try to practice your speech a few times before you join the meeting so that you will have a better control of your time. And secondly, I would love to see if you could include a punchline at the end of your speech so that the audience would remember the value of the stories that you're trying to tell us. We would remember even after we have closed these Zoom meetings. Okay, so to conclude, Ashu, you are very confident and composed speakers, and I look forward to your next speech. Good job, Ashu.
All right, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa, for the very on the point evaluation to Ashu. What I like about your evaluation is you start off like acknowledging Ashu, like you acknowledge on his progress from earlier to now, that he has really like grown tremendously. That if I were Ashu, I personally would feel that, oh, you're seeing my growth. That's I would feel very in touch with the evaluators that on your evaluations. And I also like about you said about the points about like relevancy, and then you elaborate why that you actually liked about it, and also the point of improvement, that why that this point is important. Yeah. So one point for actually two, what I noticed, right, is during your evaluation on the general, like to talk about the speaker, right, I find it's that it has been like, I mean, I thought like from the beginning you already state the strength. Then later on, then you were saying that, oh, there are 2 points I want to comment you. So I was a bit like, confused at the time, like, when is it like only like these 2 points, the earlier, the opening there, is that like, it's not a strength? So I have this thought. So perhaps what my suggestion is, you can start off with a very general, I mean, like 1 or 2 lines, like opening to share to the to the speakers. Then after that, you go into the strength and say that, okay, I would like to commend you on 2 points, and then 2 points of proof of improvement. So to make it more structured, and then only come with the conclusion. Yeah, with that, overall, that is a very structured one from you, Vanessa. Thank you very much for the evaluation. And with now, I would like to invite the next evaluator, who is Charlene, to evaluate.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Toastmaster Ashley. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashley. Toastmaster, when there is a saying goes, mentor is a person who is always there to help you when you are in trouble. Thank you very much for enlightening us with such a relatable story that we can relate you, that we can feel you. Okay, here are my evaluations to your speech. The first thing that I like about your speech is your stories. You include your own personal stories in the whole speech, okay? And you share the stories between you and the mentor. Instead of telling us that you only have one mentor, you try to include everyone. You say that everyone, each and every one of us here is your mentor. By doing so, you are trying to welcome us and try to engage each and everyone here into your speech. And kudos to your bravery in sharing your childhood's abuse story. You know that human is an emotion animal. When you are able to trigger this emotion in us, we will anyhow pay attention and give you a sense of empathy and sympathy in your speech. That's why when you are able to touch our heart, we are able to keep up with you throughout the speech. And the second thing that I like about your speech is your pauses. You have a good use of pauses. When you start off your speech, you are steady and clear and you are confident. When you use these pauses well, it will provide a good transitions between your points, and it will distinguish the points A, points B, and point C, and you wouldn't mess up together. By doing so, the audience will easily follow you throughout the speech, and it makes all your points easily to digest in our brain. And not only that, when you have pauses, we can see that actually throughout your speech, there is no speech filler or filler words like or. When you are able to make use of these pauses, it will give you time to gather your thought without rushing. Okay, so kudos to these pauses. And perhaps things that you can improve is your physical presentation in these visual scenes. What I meant is that first is your eye contact. Why I say so is because throughout the whole presentation, I can feel that you are actually relying on your note. You are actually looking on your note. It's not looking at the camera. If can, try to, memorize the whole speech in your mind, memorize it and try not to rely on your note. When you are not talking by looking at your note, try to include your eye contact and look straight into the cameras and make us feel that you are actually ready to nail your whole speech. And the second physical presentations that you can improve is your hand gesture. Why I say so? When you are delivering your speech, your hand gestures is not complete. You are just half of your hand. So when you are showing half of your hand, you actually give us an impression that you are not confident in what you are delivering. It is good to give a whole hand gesture and try to make two hands. Try to make full use of your two hands instead of just one hand to enhance the message that you want to deliver to us. When you have this full hand gestures presentation in this visual scene, it will give us an impression that you are actually ready and credible and confident and convince us that whatever you deliver, you believe in it. So all in all, I love how you use these stories in your speech, how you make good use of these pauses. Perhaps it can try to look straight into the camera, try to have eye contact with all the audiences, and try to have a good hand gesture in your speech presentations. And kudos to you. If can, try to work together with your mentor, try to improve more in your next speech. And back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Evaluator Toastmaster Charlene. You are a very experienced Toastmaster, and you are really very experienced in giving like evaluations. And I find your evaluations very encouraging. And I also find that your point is very certain. And when you speak, right, then you speak with essence. I really love about your evaluations because you always talk about that one point, then you link with the implication. Why is that important to have that point? So kudos to that, your evaluations. And also I noticed that in your evaluation you have this statement saying a few times, that I think if I'm not mistaken it's about 2 times you said that I can conclude that you are actually not confident. So in these situations, in these scenarios, right, I personally feel that maybe the person might not be feeling like confident. Perhaps my suggestions here is to say that I personally feel that the confidence is lesser in this in your delivery. So what I would suggest is you could do this. So, or you can say that, correct me if I'm wrong, your current state now, it might not be your confidence level might not be there. So at least to get the so-called like opinion from the person, the speaker, instead of making that conclusion immediately. Yeah. All right. Thank you overall, Charlene, Toastmaster Charlene. I really love your evaluation. It is very encouraging and on the point, really give a very clear points to the speakers where to improve to the next level. All right. With that, I would like to invite the third evaluators, who is EJ, Toastmaster EJ, to evaluate Toastmaster Taylor's speech. Over to you, EJ.
Thank you, Ashley. Toastmaster Taylor, thank you for sharing such a thrilling story of Saru's journey in finding his way home. And thank you for introducing it to us, for those of us who hadn't heard about his story yet. For your speech today, to influence the audience, I really like how you started off engaging with the crowd, with the audience. Not only did you started off asking questions, you also use it to establish the context of your speech today, which is losing something precious and having the determination to find it back. You started off, you set the context up by sharing a relatable example of losing a phone. Fortunately or unfortunately, some of us might have to go through this experience, but this is an example that you use to not only set up the context, but also to engage with the audience. And I really like the way you did it. Killed 2 birds in 1 stone. Now, for a speech to influence an audience, I believe that the goal of this speech must be as clear as possible. And from the start, from the get-go, you made it very clear that this is a speech about losing something and finding it back later. Because it's something very important to you, you have a strong determination to find it better. The entire speech is anchored to Sharu's story, which is a very, very powerful story. However, at the final part of the speech, you mentioned that you talked about the power of home and technology. I was a little bit confused at that moment because throughout the speech, I was really engaged in Sharu's life journey and finding his family back. And I know that technology has been a great help in him to enable him to do that. But perhaps focus on one instead of combining 2. If the technology is something that you find really interesting, maybe we can talk about it some other day, but let us focus on one topic and we go deep to influence the audience with that one topic. The second thing that I feel an inspiring speech can be more effective is the way you allocate the timing of your sections. I felt that most of the speech has been taken up by Shahru's story. Don't get me wrong, his story is a very powerful story, but the inspirational part also comes after you finish his story. And that brings me to the third part. What I believe you could have done to engage and influence the audience more with the story is to add in your analysis and what you feel about this story. I believe some of us may have heard about his story before from the film Lion, but what makes it so special about your speech so special is how you are able to relate it and pull the audience into that story. Maybe perhaps add in some of your emotions, some of your thoughts on how hard it would have been to go through that journey and finally getting to the goal, which is reuniting with the family. What are the emotions behind this? If you're able to tie in the emotions, I believe you will have much more higher impact in influencing the crowd. So to come to a conclusion, I really like the way you started off with engaging the audience and setting up the context. But I felt that perhaps if you ended up with only one goal, timing for your speech, and to add some of your personalization of what Shahru's story is. With these three things, I believe it could have made a much more impact onto the audience for tonight. But all in all, that was a great speech. Congratulations. I'd like to pass the control back to our general evaluator, Ashley.
Thank you, Toastmaster EJ. Thank you for the evaluations. When I listen, always in your evaluations or your speech, right? I always find very calm in listening to your voice. And then even though sometimes I'm like your heart pumping very fast, when you listen to you, I'll feel very calm. So thank you for the very calming evaluations. And I really like your evaluations on like you link it back about the speech objective, whether the speaker have achieved the speech objective. So that is a very good point that you are coming from you. And also I like how detailed you are, that you are not looking into your evaluations is not just touching on the very surface, like for example, like your text, your gesture, or your posture, but you even go deeper into the content itself, like how you can recommend the speaker to go in with the content that can impact the audience much further. So I really applaud you on that. So the perhaps the one thing, like just now I mentioned about very soothing and very calming, right? And then I believe that this is the feedback that you received earlier as well. So in your next speech delivery or your evaluation, I would like to challenge you to use go all out to be playful in your intonations, to make the high and low volume in your delivery, so to bring your speech or your evaluation to the next level. All right, thank you, Toastmaster EJ, for the very evaluations. All right, now I would like to invite our last evaluator, who is Sloan, Toastmaster Sloan, to evaluate Toastmaster KJ's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Sloan.
All right, so thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashley. So again, KJ, I want to say thank you again for hosting such a memorable team building event. Despite the situation that we are actually trapped in our home, it is indeed one of the most memorable events that I ever experienced after I stuck at home for so long. So KJ, as usual, your speech is always very well organized. Then you're always very clear on describing every detail of your experience when you are telling a story. So this time I personally like how you actually started off your speech by describing one of your senses, which is mouth, by how you're able to smell freedom. This indeed caught the attention of the audience, and some of the keyword freedom is very intriguing at this moment. The structure itself is very interesting as well, because you start off with your ending, how you actually feel in the ending, then you bring your audience back, go back in the time and share with us how actually is this journey begin with. And as I mentioned earlier, your speech is always have a very clear direction, but especially at this part, me being an audience, I always find myself being lost in people's speeches. But I find that your speech is very easily to be followed with the way on how you're able to describe a scenario in just a few words. Clean and short and very right to the point. But perhaps during this part of your speech, when you talk about fun, it's important in team building. In this team building, I think that you should give us a more context of definition of fun, because I believe that there is a very good opportunity here that you actually can be explored. Example, how actually learning is fun. Even how you learn to move in the gather in the dungeon, sometimes it's actually a pain in the ass, but it is still fun to find out that actually you are not alone. You have friends that don't know how to move like you. Okay, but I think the best part is at the end of the speech, you started to connect all the dots, telling us how actually this event had related to Elite Toastmaster and inspired us on how actually we should always think our next challenge is the most easiest compared to the previous one, because it is of all experience we have accumulated. However, I think that it would be great that if you able to express more of your feeling at this point, and perhaps you can elaborate more on how the easier part can be actually applied in a real life scenario. However, that is my evaluation for you, KJ. Thank you so much. And back to you, GE Ashley.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Iceland, and I really like your opening. When you talk about, like, you also acknowledge Toastmaster KJ on the team building activity that he organized, and I could really feel you that you are truly enjoy in the team building itself, the activity itself, which I will feel very. If I were KJ, I would feel like, oh, okay, we really enjoyed it, and I feel very close to you. That's the rapport that you have built up, the rapport in the beginning between you and your speaker, and it actually helps to lay more receptive, like for the speaker to receive the feedback in the following sessions. I felt that you have done it very well on that. So one point of improvement for Toastmaster Iceland is, I noticed that there were like a few you mentioned about a few but. So in fact, when you mention a but, right, your points is actually talking about the positive points. And then when you add in with the buts, right, then I thought you might say something like leads to a negative, like the comments or feedbacks. So perhaps that in my suggestions, right, instead of using the buts, right, then you can say like and, or you can just put a full stop in the previous sentence and start off with a new sentence again. But overall, it is a good sessions, evaluations from you. Thank you, Toastmaster Iceland. All right, that's pretty much sum up our evaluations for the prepared speeches, for the prepared speech speakers. And following up, it is the evaluation. It's actually a report from our grammarians, our role players, that our grammarian Diane will be sharing with us of some of the great language use and how many of us have actually used the word trailing in this meeting itself. And I would like to invite our English teacher, Toastmaster Diane.
Sorry, before that, should we vote for evaluators?
Oh, yes. Yep. So hold the horse first. Okay. All right. So for the grammarian report, yes. Now, please, I would like to invite our SAA Leonard to launch the poll.
Okay, I'll launch now.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for reminding Toastmaster Leonard. All right. From my end here, I can see already. So with the count of 5, then we shall proceed to our next sessions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, thank you everyone for the submissions of the polling. Thank you very much. And now we shall put the spotlight to our grammarian, Toastmaster Diane, for her grammarian report. Over to you.
Thank you, Madam GE, for the kind welcome. Let me share with you guys the grammarian report. I will just zoom in a little bit because I know how much we all how much my eyes cannot see when I'm looking at it. So everyone can see the grammarian report. And congratulations to everyone. Please unmute yourself, give yourself a clap. The usage of the word of the day was used throughout the meeting. If not said, it was definitely typed into the Zoom chat. Yes, I was reading every single message, hoping for the word. So thank you, Ashu. Thank you, Juliana. Thank you, KJ. Thank you, Rachel, Taylor, Yi, and even our guests, Grace and Shamini. Thank you so much for taking the time to use the word of the day. And just for the benefit of our members and our guests, the purpose of why we learn a new word is to improve our vocabulary. And most of all, it also helps with our brain power, neuroplasticity. So use it another 3 more times, apply it in any way, and it will be part of your brain. Okay, so let's move on to some of the errors I heard tonight. So does this quote means that? Does this quote mean? Most of the guests, most of the guests. Please watch our plural, the pronunciation, and also please take the time to remember our members' names and the pronunciation. It is not Asus, it is Ashu. So please remember it's Ashu, not Asus. For cost, there was someone who said cost actually was meant to be said as cons. So do watch the pronunciation of that. Also, another name that was mispronounced, I actually thought that was this person. It was said Lynette, and then it was actually Leonard. So please take note, our member is Leonard, not Lynette. So expertise is actually meant to say expertise. Mediate, it means a different thing when actually the speaker wanted to say meditate. Precious, actually, I noticed that the context was meant to say the speaker wanted to say precious. So closest, closer, just watch out the z and the s, yeah. And enlightening is actually enlightening. For childhoods, watch out for that, childhood. So watch out for singular and plural. Okay, just for per sentence structure, I won't go through all of them. I'll just pick the first few here. For the minds of the child, in the minds of children, a lot better experience, a better experience. Everything got plus and minus. There will always be a plus and minus. Not a person who always do shopping, not someone who always shops. When you put in, when you put it in. So please watch out for that. You really want to go back. You brought us back. So when describing someone, bringing you back to the past. One of the other one is, just let me pick another one here, which is behind the schedule, very behind schedule. I am going to talk about, I was like a shy girl. I was a shy girl. Thanks everyone be here. Thanks everyone for being here. So I think with our members, just maybe to watch out the past and present tense usage in our sentences. Okay, events that happens to you, events that happen to you. Okay. And now the next part, so just with our evaluators, I would suggest to try and use more suggestive language when we are evaluating other speakers. If you able, instead, if you could, that's a suggestive language, rather than saying if you able, if you could. Yeah, so that's just one of it. One of the things I love tonight, I heard so many phrases here and there. Just the simple ones. Freedom doesn't come for free. Thank you, Aziam, for sharing on that. Justin, coordinate and conduct the meeting. I love the usage of double words in that sense. Grace, without internet, we are more human. I thought that was thought-provoking. Ashu, taking law and order in his hands. I thought that was, wow, this is really, the expressiveness, the description of this really got me thinking. And the sensation of air, I was like, wow, I've never heard someone describe air as a sensation. So I like that. Thank you, Ashu, for sharing that with us. Vance, you gonna be you. Thank you for that. Taylor, the power of hope, as mentioned. KJ, we always need to search for purpose, fun, bonding, and learning. There is always someone to bring you up. And for Charlene, it was sympathy and empathy. Okay, thank you guys for sharing. And just one of the things I wanted to highlight to all the members today, and for you guys to take note of your progress. One of the things that I've noticed in being a grammarian from the past few meetings ago, and then now stepping in as a grammarian once more, I must congratulate all the members today, because the level of awareness that you guys have shared tonight in correcting yourselves, I noticed that. Even when it was in a Zoom chat, I noticed that there was a correction of, oh, I misspelled this. And then I did notice that some of the speakers, you guys will actually stop yourselves to correct yourself. There is a level of awareness to that. And this is the progress that you guys have now. And the next progress you're going to find is you're going to be able to take your time and process those sentences to keep yourselves articulate and certainly eloquent. All right. And just with that, I just like to say thank you so much being your grammarian. You've inspired me with words once more. It's been a thrill to be your grammarian. I hope that you will not remain still with this word, but continue to spill until the next meeting. Stay chill and keep up with your skills. Back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Grammarian Toastmaster Diane. I really love your grammarian report. It is very detailed, and also it is very encouraging. And I really love you, like by ending your grammarian report by saying like our members, our audience, or our guests here is inspiring you with words. Instead, I myself feel that you are also inspiring us in the grammarian report and encouraging each and every one of us to make that, improve ourselves the 10 or 20% in each of the meeting and bring ourselves to be a better communicator. Thank you for the very great grammarian report. Thank you, Toastmaster Diane. With that, I would like to invite our R-Counter expertise, who is Rachel Ling, to share us about the report for today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashley. And first of all, before I begin, I would like to congratulate everyone who has controlled their use of filler words to the point of having no filler words at all throughout the meeting. And these people are Suwan, Juliana, Grace, Shamini, KJ, Leonard, as well as Diane. So can we all give a round of applause for these, I think it's eight individuals. All right. So I think as you can see, I've listed down everyone's name as well as the number of filler words and speech crutches. I won't go through every single name, but I would just like to share some observations. What I've observed this time around as an R-Counter is that there are typically two reasons why we encounter speech crutches and filler words. And the first reason being is because we are not prepared enough on what we are going to say next. And this sometimes happens because, say, for example, if we are playing a table topic speaker role or a GE role where we cannot simply prepare so far in advance. We just have to, go with the flow and make up sentences and words as we move along. So in these cases, what I've noticed is that there are a lot of speech clutches, and sometimes, for example, if I may just share, Ashley, there were quite a number of false starts or hanging ending, meaning that there were some sentences where you started a new sentence before finishing the first sentence, perhaps because you realized that, hey, the first sentence was not something that I want to say. Also, second observation, for example, like Ashu I realized that all these speech crutches which you had, and you played two roles today, you were the speaker as well as a table topic speaker. All these speech crutches you had were only for the table topic speeches. They were, the table topic speeches. And for your prepared speech, you had completely no speech crutches or no filler words at all. So these were just some of my observations. So in terms of how to improve on this, I would say whenever you catch yourself uttering filler words, just take a breath and collect your thoughts and then continue on with what you have to say. Okay, so I hope that helps. The second observation which I had in terms of filler words was sometimes when we are nervous, maybe this might be because we are playing a certain role for the first time. And for example, I could see this quite apparent with Jingman. And Jingman, really well done to being able to evaluate 8 table topic speakers in such a short period of time where you had no time to prepare at all. So that being said, I did realize that you had quite a number of double clutches when you were nervous, such as saying things like but, special, and even. So this is something that you can be more aware of and perhaps something to improve in the coming meetings as well. Apart from that, I think everyone did a great job at controlling their use of filler words, and I would like to echo what my mentor Diane has mentioned also. I've also noticed that as we all grow, we are also becoming more aware of our grammar usage, our speech crutches, and yeah, I would like to encourage everyone to continue to improve our confidence, our speeches, and that's it from me. And back to you, Toastmaster Ashley.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rachel Ling, for this very detailed counter report, where now I'm very consciously of thinking of my sentence. I really love about your counter report because you're just not merely reading the report by itself. Instead, you actually state out your observations and help the people, like for example myself, that to relate why do I have these double clutch words that's happening to me. So I thought that is very good, and also you also provide solutions like how to improve on that. So I hope just now the sentence, there were no double clutch or the R sound in it. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for our R counter report. And next, I would like to invite our timer, our Rolex, our tech warrior of the night, who is Juliana, to share us the timer report. Over to you, Juliana.
All right. Thank you, TME Ashley. And I would present here my timer report. And as you can see, I'm just going to briefly run through the general report. Generally, everyone kept the time we had in exciting table topic session, fire chat site, where most of them kept within a minute, a little bit over a minute, but generally we kept within the 10 minutes allocated for the fireside chat. And the ones who I've highlighted in yellow are those who's just gone slightly over time, mostly the prepared speeches and also the evaluators. And that goes without saying because all the speeches were great and the evaluation, there's just so much to say. So it's common that they would go over time, but just a general feedback that perhaps moving forward, we can just keep to the point where we want to present our plus points and the minus points where we give these evaluation, which might help us in keeping within the time allocated. Finally, before I end the report, I just want to share the importance of why do we have a timer or a traffic control in our meeting. Because obviously Toastmasters is a community platform, and we have having time slots allows more people to participate in this meeting, in the sessions that are allocated. And also having set time allows us to focus on the key points and we keep it simple and sweet, right? Lastly, also in real life, in most circumstances, we don't have the luxury of time. So one learning point of having timekeeper during a Toastmaster session is to train us to be to make fire speeches, elevator speeches, because usually this is what it is. We require to communicate messages in a very short but very effective manner. So with that, I would like to end my timer report for the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Juliana. Thank you for the timer report and thank you for sharing with us why is that important to have a timer in in Toastmaster meeting, and as well as we be our timer for ourselves to train ourselves to be an effective communicator. All right, with that, it's sum up the report for the grammarian, art counter, and also timer report. And now this is the session for me to evaluate the overall meetings, where we started off with the time started of our meeting today, which we start at 8 o'clock. In fact, my time here is 7:59. So we start on time. Kudos to everyone. Kudos to Leonard, our SAA, to start on time. I really love about you stating the ground rules of our meeting and have everyone to prepare a glass of water at the beginning, so everyone is prepared. So just one point of improvement is perhaps in future you can train more in like spotlighting, because at the beginning I realized that the speaker, like the president, was not being spotlighted, and also along the way, like the prepared speech, right, the timer was not being spotlighted. So in a way, the speaker wouldn't able to know what is the time that they have left. Yep. So then I would like to go into our president's speech, who is our Suwan. Suwan, as always, you are very friendly, and this is the first time I'm coming into the meeting, I feel very friendly. I really feel that I'm I'm home, like what your speech has actually stated. And I also like you have actually clearly stated the vision, missions of our Toastmaster, Elite Toastmaster Club as well. So, and also you started with the quote and that reminds each and every one of us, remind me that how lucky am I to be free, like I'm richer than like 75% people of the people in the world. So I thought this is something that you relate very well to the freedom topic today. And in between, I realized that there is a pause in between, probably 1 or 2 seconds. In that pause, right, I would feel that you can fill up by saying something like what you're actually looking at, perhaps that you need some time, 1 or 2 seconds to do that you need to focus at. So at least that the audience knows that what is happening, instead of just letting it being paused at that point. So overall, I felt this is a very your speech is very related to the speech, the theme of today. Yeah, thank you for that. And next, we go to our first timer, ASEAN, who is our first toast. She has done her first toast ceremony. Good job to ASEAN. I love you start off with the quote, like starting from Muhammad Gandhi, that it really also relates us. It's a good opening for the theme of today, for freedom. And then you also share us about your own definitions of freedom, which I can feel and also resonate to you. I thought your toast has done pretty well. So what I noticed in your toast delivery, I was looking into your eyes movement, like to left to right, left to right. So I was thinking maybe at your side there you are actually relying on the notes or maybe essay that you have done. So in your next delivery, what I would like to challenge you is actually you can put up some of the keywords, right, to link your story so that you can have an overall idea what you wanted to share. Yeah, with that, it's a good and very meaningful toast speech from you. And coming up next is our Toastmaster of the evening, Justin. You are really well prepared. I must say that I really feel that you are very well prepared because you even research of our each and all of our speakers where I'm the speakers. I felt that, oh, you know me, you do some research about me. I really think that you really did a well job on that. Also, you asked the question, why do we join Toastmaster? And this is a questions that we ourselves that we need to remind ourselves, why are we here today? And it brings me to remember what is the purpose that I'm here today, just like in line with what KJ's speech has shared just now, our purpose of what we do, why we join a certain things. So you provide a very good overview of the overall meeting. And perhaps what one point of improvement is what I would suggest is perhaps in future you can suggest the audience to unmute themselves to have some engagement, like maybe to give some like a virtual applause, virtual clap, so this to hype up the engagement with the audience. And next up, it's our DTM Chanchun. He is the table topic master. Okay, as usual, your sessions is always like very chop, like really rapid fire, and then your delivery is always very on point, very good, and the pace is so like really following your pace. Like just now you mentioned about the rapid fire table topic, right? Even the way you speak, your pace, right, is like following the pace like the rapid fire. Okay, chop everything. Then you also set the context very rightly by stating that you will not be following the sequence like the normal conventional way. That's actually adding more excitement in these sessions where people like, oh, okay, it's going to be fun, it's going to be fast. So I thought you have done it very well on that. So one point of improvement, perhaps that in future you can just confirm the theme before you start with the sessions. That's all for the point of improvement for our DTM Chanchun for the table topic master. And next up, it's our very sweet and friendly Toastmaster Jingman for her table topic evaluator. Well, as always, she is a very sincere evaluator, very sincere Toastmaster. And I find that, Jingman, you have really improved tremendously. I must say that the evaluations you gave, right, is very confident. And each of your points, right, is like really on point, very direct and very clear cut, is very structured. And the way you speak, you give your point, then you come with the why that you support that the point that you say. So one point of improvement that it's I realized that you also mentioned about like you were saying like to the speaker, like maybe you was nervous. So this is something like also is anticipations. So what I would suggest is say something similar like what Diane has mentioned, to talk about like the suggestive language. Like what I would do here is you're going to to give more supportive language on that side. So, and then with that, overall, I think I have summed up the overall meetings of today. And with that, I would like to pass back the floor to our TME of the night, Toastmaster Justin. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashley, for your wonderful summary and reports. I know it's not easy to be a GE, to listen throughout the meeting from the start to the end, to analyze everything and to give a constructive feedback to everybody so we can conduct a better meeting for the future. So without further ado, we are behind the schedule, and please give a thumbs up in the reaction if you really enjoy this meeting overall. And now we are coming to the session where we're going to present the best speaker, the best table topic, and the best evaluator. So Zoom Master, are you ready to share screen for the certificates?
Okay, I will share screen now.
Okay. So I have the result here for all the best speaker and the best evaluator. So the best table topic, she is not a member of Elite Toastmaster. She is a member of KPMG Toastmaster, and she's the president. And the best table topic is Miss Shamin. Toastmaster Shamin, congratulations.
Congrats.
Hi, Shamin. Congratulations. You are the best.
Congratulations.
That's unexpected. Thank you so much.
Well, all right. Now we are. I think we can do a group. Okay. Now we are going for the best the best speaker. So this speaker, she is not only just a DJ, but she's a real estate. And she is Toastmaster Vance Ngor. Congratulations for being the best speaker for this evening. Hi, Vance. Is Vance there? All right. Okay, now we are going for the final part for the best evaluator. He is not only just good at giving speech and all those things. He have a green finger that he taught us how to do some gardening, and that is Toastmaster EJ. Congratulations, Toastmaster EJ.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So that sums up our meeting. And if you enjoy our meeting and you want to see the summary of the report and the post, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook, because I will be posting a lot of things on the Instagram. You can follow us and we will share a lot of news in there. And without further ado, I'll pass my controller back to Mr. President Suwan Boma. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause or any reaction, love, or chat to Toastmaster Evening, Toastmaster Justin. Yay! Good job, Justin. Yay! You wouldn't know it's Justin's first time being the TME, right? So that's what Elite Toastmaster about. We expect more. Even though you take on the role the first time, don't act like you are the first time. Act like a veteran. Good job, Justin. And we have come to the end of the meeting. And I would like to thank all of our members and guests for staying for almost 2.5 hours. I know we have run a little bit late. Perhaps if I can just get some of the feedback from the guests on the floor. Let's have our guest from KPMG first. Is Shamini still around? Shamini?
Yes, I'm still around. Thank you so much. First and foremost, thank you very much for a very thrilling end to my extremely hectic Thursday. So thank you for that. It's certainly one of the rare opportunities that I get to join a full club with more than 30 people attending the meeting. So thank you very much for that. It's been extremely an enriching evening, like I mentioned in the comments. Practically what stand out most was the variety in the speeches. It showed various topics that allowed me to actually just immerse and listen. And the role players report, special shout out to the R counter as well as the grammarian. I liked the way the reports was presented. It was not just merely reading it, but the way the reports, the quantitative data was actually explained and in a more qualitative manner. So I liked that as well. And overall, it's a very good homely feeling, like what Suwan, the president, mentioned. Feels very much at home. So thank you very much for that. Over to you.
Thank you, Shamini. And can we have next one, Grace from KBMG as well? Grace, you still here?
Hi, yes, I'm still here trying to unmute myself. Thank you, Elite Club, for allowing us to join your meeting. I've enjoyed the meeting, and I like especially Justin. Although he said that this is the first time he's prepared himself as a TME, but he did very well. It doesn't look like the first time at all. Well done, Justin.
Thank you, Grace. And can we have the next guest, Matthew? Hi, Matthew. Okay, we come back to you later. We have Damien. Hi, Damien.
Hi, thank you very much for a lovely evening, really insightful. So first of all, what struck me with how supportive everybody was of each other and the encouragement that was given, whether it's through feedback via the chat or emojis or the facial expressions or the waves. It was really pleasant and really warm and actually builds people's confidence. So I think that was really pleasant to see. I also think the formative feedback that was given was incredibly helpful. So in terms of my own journey and development. Not only was I able to learn by experiencing presenting just for 1 minute and understanding how difficult it was, it certainly provided a much greater degree of empathy to other people that were on for a much longer period of time, but also listening to other comments that other people were making gave me lots of things to reflect upon in terms of my own public speaking that I can take away from this session. So I'm looking forward to attending future opportunities and hopefully see many faces today and in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Damien, for joining and staying. And thanks for your comment and feedback as well. And next we have CY. Are you still here, CY? I hope you are.
Hi.
Yes.
So I think everything is good so far. Sorry, I cannot open camera now too because
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So I think everything is so good, and I'm glad that I joined here today. And of course, I will love to join at this club next time if I have time. And of course, after some scheduling with my work and all that, I'll be joining in this club. And yeah, this is what I think.
Thank you, CY. And to all the guests, you are feel free to join our next meeting again. Just contact our lovely, bubbly, energetic Ashley, our Vice President's membership. And next we have Yong Han. Hi, Yong Han.
Hi. I just want to say that I think it's a very good session. I appreciate that everyone was being so welcoming and supportive. And I think one of the things that I see that was very good was that there were individual assessments of everyone. So everyone will have a good and a positive review of how to improve themselves. So I think that was like a key point for me that I took here.
Thank you, Johan. And next we have, is Matthew here? Matthew, you disconnect and you come back?
Yes, I just came back.
Any feedback, any comment from this evening meeting?
It's a new experience for me. Since actually I have some experience joining in my company's this kind of a public speaking experience, but however I find the difference in between here and there is even when I talk here I can feel more relaxed, because I think most of here I don't know all of you, so I can feel that the pressure when I speak and the words that I choose to use, everything is feeling better. And I'm also getting a lot of the insights from the presentations from the presenters just now, where giving me some new tips for me to improve in my future presentations. Thank you very much, and thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Matthew. And we have our last guest from KPMG. I want to hear from you, John. Are you still here, John?
Yes. You guys arrived since the beginning of the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You decided you also try your best to make everyone engage with the meeting, and the whole meeting was well organized.
Thank you.
All in all, I like it.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for staying for so long. I know we have run out a little bit of time. So I just some closing remark again. It's about freedom. For me, myself, freedom is changing our vocabulary from must, from need, from have to can. I need to improve. No, you can improve. I need to work on that project. No, you can work on that project. I need to settle that project. I can settle that project. So it's about the freedom, the choice, and the courage and the confidence in yourself. So I believe that is all freedom all about. And thank you for all the guests, all the members, all the speeches are great today, and all the evaluations are top-notch and perfect. So that's how we keep everybody on the same level of expectation, because our life is a direct reflection of our peers' expectations. With that, thank you very much. and have a great evening. And I would like to call our meeting to an end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys.